con that year. So it is Blast It or Stash It. You sorry son of bitches. We'll go to get started on here. We'll start with Drew. What's your quote?
Oh, Jesus. Now you're going to make me look at my phone.
I know. I got to make you read.
All right. It's from 2002. Envy the country that has heroes, huh? I say, pity the country that needs them.
Oh, 2002.
Huh?
No, I don't know. Is it a superhero movie? Sounds like it.
It's not a superhero movie.
Anybody else got a guess?
I don't have one.
Yeah, that one's.
That's
I don't
all
have that one.
Mikey? No.
What's going on?
Mikey on top of things as always.
We're live right now, Mikey.
Repeat your quote one more time. We'll give somebody in the chat to see if they can get it, and then we'll move on to the next person.
All right. Envy the country that has heroes, huh? I say, pity the country that needs them.
What year?
2002.
Okay, we'll move on to.
Oh man, I'm just gonna give up, guys. This was Reign of Fire. It's a movie about dragons.
Yes, that's
Reign of Fire is
Christian
amazing.
Bale. Yes.
Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey looking more ripped than I don't know what.
Right?
So, Paul, your quote.
My quote is from 1995, and Mikey better get this one. Would you shut up? I'm trying to do my quote here.
You're gonna catch a chocolate, bro. Gotta settle down.
I've been trying to figure out something in my head. Maybe you can help me out, yeah? When a person is insane, as you clearly are, do you know that you're insane? Maybe you're just sitting around reading Guns and Ammo, masturbating in your own feces. Do you just stop and go, wow, it is amazing how fucking crazy I really am? Yeah. Do you guys do that?
That 12 Monkeys?
Nope.
What year was it from?
95.
Boondock Saints?
No, that would have a lot more F words in it.
Oh, it sounds so familiar.
It's a classic.
Mike doesn't know, apparently. Do you have a lead character or actor in the movie? Give us a hint.
Well, it does have Brad Pitt.
Fight Club?
Fight Club came out in 99.
99.
7?
Thelma and Louise?
Nope.
Legends of the Fall.
Great movie, but no.
Brad Pitt vehicle. I can't remember the name of number 3.
Is it Christian Slater in it too?
Nope. It would be, I'm just going to give it away. It would be 7.
Oh, what's in the
That's
box?
the third one. That's the third one.
What's in the box?
Yep.
Moving on to Poke and Joe.
I drank your milkshake. You're not getting it. A straw came over, and I drank your milkshake.
What's the name of
There
that movie?
will be blood.
Yep, there will be blood.
Best line in the movie.
There are a lot of great lines in that movie.
Yeah, there are. Mike, you're up with your quote.
A bastard in a basket.
You're about nipple level there.
Nipple level.
Don't threaten him with a good time.
Double S comic reader Brandon Stawinski Comics. Comics Misexplained and Comics with Bueller. My quote is also, my quote is from 1985, not 95, 85.
You're getting a chocolate for not mentioning Ball and Chain.
I don't even see it. Maybe she hasn't popped up yet.
A whole bunch of smiley faces right next to it.
Yeah, my computer's so jacked up, I don't even see the smiley faces.
Shit, I don't know if you have a computer. At this point, I think you're on an Etch-a-Sketch.
Listen, there's a bunch of people from the cemetery who are stark staring mad, and they'll kill you and eat you if they catch you. It's like a disease. It's like rabies, only faster, a lot faster. That's why you've got to come and get us now. Get us out of here now, right now.
What year?
85.
Return
Night of the Living Dead Part 2.
Yeah, Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living.
Return of the Living Dead?
Yep, with Linnea Quigley doing the greatest cemetery dance ever.
Yes, sir.
I have to watch that again. I think I watched that like on Easter Sunday one day. Kind of fitting, huh?
Yeah. It's all about rising from the dead, isn't it?
It is. My quote is from, it's either 2016, 2017. It's a fairly new movie. Are you opening up the harbor, Brad? Oh, the harbor's wide open, and it's Fleet Week. The Christmas movie.
The Vacation.
No. 2016. Or 17. Has Marky Mark in it. And Mark Wahlberg.
Daddy's Coming Home or Daddy's
Home.
Daddy's Home Numero Dos. Yes.
I didn't know that was a Christmas movie.
I just watched it on Hulu. Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched it then with my daughter. Yeah, it's a Christmas. It has Mel Gibson in it too. So his triumphant return.
That's appropriate.
Since our off-air chat was kind of relative to that, right? Jumping into the books for the week, a lot of books for this week. I got quite the freaking stack here. I mean, Joe was holding up quite a few more during the off-air, but let's go ahead and get rolling because we're 7 minutes into this thing. Go ahead there, Drew, with your first book. Surprise us, shock us, make us say wow.
My first book is a stash, and it's Batman 59. What? Drew's stashing a Batman book? What? It's the Penguin. What? He's stashing a Batman book. Tom King actually put some of this story together, and it makes sense for a change. Fuck yeah, he did. Wow. I'm happy for you, Tom. Thanks for getting me back on board. This is a stash. Really enjoyed this story. Finally, something with this Bane shit. God, it took forever. I mean, I still don't care about the Catwoman marriage thing. Who cares where that's going? But this finally turned a corner. And to see what Bane has in store, finally, I care about what's going on in Batman.
Anybody else read Batman this week?
I dumped it. I got tired of waiting. Now I regret it. It always happens to me.
Paul, did you read Batman? You can just shake your head no. Okay. Mike, you read it?
I haven't read it yet.
There's Mike. Screen's all black for a second. And he's frozen too. Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. Bane, he goes and beats the crap out of Bane, or that's what you think. And so I think it's a stash for me too. But Drew, so you said you were dropping Batman, Drew, but yet you've been picking it up this whole time. Does the slam on it?
I've been picking up Batman. Yeah, no, it's because it's Batman. I buy it. I collect it.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't been any good. Been upset with it, but it's Batman. It's like telling my grandma to stop watching One Life to Live. It's just not going to happen.
Or Wheel of Fortune, or Price is Right.
There is a dude at work that literally every day goes into the break room and watches Wheel of Fortune. I'm like, dude, is that really the most important thing that you could watch during the day? Apparently it is.
There's a game show channel, and they have all those old episodes. Yeah, Mike does need some Patreon money to upgrade his from dial-up. We've been talking about that for quite some time. $50. Bunkoff says $50. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's what the internet. He's pledging 50. I don't think he's pledging 50. Paul, what's your what's your first book once you take a swig of your whatever you're drinking tonight?
Little sing them all. Let's just do my pick of the week right off the bat, and that is Marvel Knights 20 #2. This story's been freaking amazing. It's a world where the heroes are all forgotten, including by the heroes themselves. None of them know who they are. They just have these odd feelings that there was something else going on. The art is really good, fits the story, and the story is where it is at with this one. It's really cool watching the heroes try to recall what their life was like before. I can't say enough good about this. I talk down about Marvel a lot, but this has been one of their best all year. Definite stash.
Anybody else read Marvel Knights this week, Joe?
Yes, I did, and I picked up a beautiful variant for it as well. Apparently, these are going to be connecting variants. I think I might have to switch my selections over to these. Yeah, this is a great story. Everybody's forgetting. They're kind of starting to remember. We almost got a Hulk bursting out of a cop car. We got Elektra who kind of knows that maybe she wasn't the best person in her previous life and kind of wants to be. We got Frank Castle. He doesn't give up. He's getting his ass handed to him by Elektra.
And he did by Daredevil last issue, too.
Yeah, and then we got Daredevil. He shows up and he's just accepted. He's like, screw it, man. If I'm a hero, I got these funny pajamas. Let's do this. It was great. It was great storytelling. The artwork fits the story. It's not heavily dialogue where they feel like they have to explain everything way too much. That the assumption is you already know these characters. It's great. It's definitely a stash for me.
Mike, did you read that this week?
No, I did not.
I did not pick it up. Wishing I would have, but Drew did. What do you think of it, Drew?
I did. This is a stash. We're all in agreement here, except for the two of you guys who haven't read this book. And you're wrong for not reading this book. This is a great book. I would not say pick of the week, but definitely a fun read. Story by Donny Cates. This issue was written by Rosenberg, and I really love Rosenberg's Punisher. That's also in the running for my pick of the week this week. But yeah, he's got a really good handle on this character and this universe, and Cates' story is really unfolding really nicely. And I think that the dialogue was handled really well by Rosenberg. Good stuff. The art is fantastic. Yeah, it's not breaking any new ground here, but what it's doing, it's executing very well.
Moving on to Joe. What is your first book?
I'm going to go with something that I've been talking about consistently, and that's Justice League Dark. This is number 5. Beautiful cover on here. We're going into another story arc here. We get a little bit more information about Bobo and the situation that he's in. You know, he's got the sword, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm really digging that. Okay, so we got something else going on here. I'm still a little lost what it is. I think everybody is, and I think that's the point. So I'll give them a buy this week, and I'll stash it. A little bit more backstory to the person that owned the sword before Bobo the Chimp. And just saying Bobo the Chimp makes me happy on the inside.
How about you, Mike? Did you read Justice League Dark this week?
I did not.
Thank you, Mike. I feel like past couple weeks you've not been reading books, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Justice League Dark, number 5. Had to get that. I forgot who the artist is on that. It's not a. I think it's a Crane. Clayton Crane, maybe.
That's a Crane.
Yeah, we do find out a little bit more about Bobo. I figured this would wrap your alley, Joe. He does like to drink. He drinks a lot in this issue. He talks about him drinking to get through everything, and we find out that he had, what was all left to him. He kind of screwed it up in a big way, and then there's kind of a callback to an old character who makes a pretty big appearance in this. Not like a major character by any means. Maybe even a C-lister DC character that comes back toward the end of the book. But I think he's going to play a pretty big part in going on forward. Justice League Dark.
That's what I've been liking about this. They're bringing these kind of the superheroes that you see in the quarter bin. You see Phantom Stranger, Fate, and these kind of mystical characters that you never cared about before, and they're kind of giving them their own main stage now. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I get excited about this book because I collected Phantom Stranger back in the day. I collected Blue Devil back in the day, and everybody was like, they're garbage books. And I was like, I don't care. I just like them. And this has been great storytelling in it. And they finally have a stage that they can tell their story, and it's working.
You read that book,
for you
Drew?
guys. I did not read that book. You put Wonder Woman and DC Magic together. I'm like, I could care less. My question for you is, I'm really liking Snyder's Justice League universe that he's built. How much does this tie into that, if at all?
I don't think it does a whole lot. I mean, they're in the same continuity and everything because Justice League Dark was in that whole with the Trees of Life or whatever that was part of Justice League.
No Justice.
Yeah, the No Justice stuff. It may tie in more later, but I mean, I don't think it ties really anything to anything. Well, I mean, they cross over too with that Witching Hour stuff a little bit too. But
we've been getting hints of it, but nothing. I think in the next story arc, we might hear a little something more about it. It seems like that's the direction they're going in with the more darker type magic stuff. But it's just been kind of traipsed into the background a little bit of the story, where if you're not paying attention, you're not catching it.
Yeah, that's been good stuff though. Paul, did you read Justice League Dark?
Did not.
Did not. Moving on to Mike. Now you got to tell me you read a book because you're up with your first book.
My first book will be Mars #2. If you didn't read the first one, here it is. It's about some middle-aged man. His name is Spencer. Being his dad at the old folks' home. His dad and Martian started. So he takes his dad. At issue 2, they're still on the road. Spencer's actually carrying his dad around in a wheelbarrow. They eat some cows that are on fire. Yeah, it is funny as hell. The art's not up to snuff, but great read. So I'm enjoying it a lot. So I'm stashing both of these.
They got cows on fire. You liked it a lot. You're stashing it. Is that correct?
Yep.
That sum it up. Your phone on the Wi-Fi? Or you're running off data. That's what I got to ask.
Does it have the act from the movie?
Yes.
It does not.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard too. Anybody else reading Mars Attacks #2 this week?
I did, but I can't seem to find it. But he's absolutely right. This is one of those comic books that's just going under the radar. It's just a funny book to read. It's hilarious. It's not your typical superhero story. It's not your typical hero story at all. It's just made to be funny and goofy like the movie was, and it's giving us that. It's great dialogue. The old man veteran from the home, he is hilarious. He's just rough. He's gruff. He doesn't really like anybody, especially his own son. And it's hilarious.
Okay, my first book this week. This is my turd of the week. It wasn't on my pull list. I happened to see it in the store. I thought, hey, it's a new #1. I'll grab it. I'll take a look at it. And I read 2 pages into it, and I said, nope, not reading any more of it. It's by Boom. It's Smooth Criminals #1. So basically the whole premise is this girl in black. She is a spy from the 1960s. She is frozen. She gets thought out in modern times, kind of an Austin Powers kind of thing going on. Whole bunch of millennial stuff going on here. Not for me. I'm not a millennial. I don't follow this stuff. I was 2 pages into it. Anybody else read that this week? Please tell me somebody else read that this week. No, damn it.
No,
The only one getting old man angry at that book is Old Man Dave.
Yeah, it is. I think that might be my own comic, Old Man Dave. Old Man Huey.
I'm not a millennial.
Get off my lawn.
Old man Herbie, what?
Yeah, Old Man Herbie.
Old Man Herbie.
I do. I was looking in the mirror, dude. Man, my beard's getting awful white here. Kind of look like Santa Claus.
Good
Not
old
like
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. You're up, Drew, with your next book.
All right, there's a lot to talk about this
Why I
week,
look at
guys.
ways to commit suicide? Hold on a second.
Yeah, you probably should. Geez, I'm gonna skip past these pick of the week contenders. And you know what? We're gonna talk about West Coast Avengers #4. West Coast Avengers #4 kind of wraps up this first story arc with Brodok. Got this awesome Ramos X-Men cover here with Magic looking super badass. Got some of my favorite X-Men on there. This is kind of the astonishing X-Men, or I'm sorry, the extraordinary X-Men team here. Good stuff. Yeah, we get some love interest stuff going on with Quentin Quire and Gwenpool, which is weird and fun. There's a giant hawk person. It's Kate Bishop. Some really cool stuff here.
Please use your pronouns correctly. Hawk person, not a hawk man, hawk woman, hawk person.
It's a Hawkeye, hawk guy who happens to be a hawk lady. I don't know what bathroom it uses. It's a giant freaking hawk monster. And Jimmy Kimmel's in this issue too. So yeah, we get the official reforming of the West Coast Avengers, and they're super duper Hollywood. I dug it. Old Man Herbie probably wouldn't. There's some millennial stuff in here. But it doesn't bother
Old
me
Man
none.
Herbie, be grumpy bastard.
But I really enjoyed this. This is a lot of fun. It's super dumb in spots, but I have a feeling that's kind of like what they're going for. I'm digging it. This is a stash.
Are they playing off that whole? Remember the Avengers book that came out in probably the late '80s, mid '90s with David Letterman? They going with that? That's that what they're trying to do?
No, I don't think so. I think they saved the day, and they're invited on a talk show. That's only like the last page of the freaking issue.
Paul, did you read that? Please tell me you did, so you can give it an F. Marvel. You're muted.
No.
No, I didn't. And fuck Marvel.
Thank you, Joe. What'd you think of West Coast Avengers? You got the Jimmy Kimmel cover.
Yeah, I went ahead and picked it up with the Jimmy Kimmel cover. Not a huge fan of Jimmy Kimmel, and not a huge fan of his book. I'm sorry. I didn't know
No
where
need to apologize for your bad taste.
You wouldn't talk bad taste. Look, this thing was not a superhero story. This was a Godzilla story. I was waiting for Mothra to come in. Apparently, a bunch of villains at some point were turned into giants. Mordok was Brodok. All they did was take everything that was classic about comic books, turned it on its own head, and made fun of itself. And I was bored.
Oh, that's what I liked about it. But you nailed it. Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Mike, did you read West Coast Avengers?
No, sir.
Thank you. Moving on to Paul. What's your next book?
My next book is Infinity War Sleepwalker #3.
Yes.
This is more of the same as the first couple issues, which is a good thing. You have outstanding Nauk art, which is to be expected. You have a trip to the comic store for Sleepwalker. You have Galactapimp and more. But this issue comes down to one thing: Man-Thing, Thing-Thum. If that doesn't make you want this issue, there is help available for you. This is a definite stash.
Wow, a Marvel book stash for Paul. Joe, did you read that?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of it?
You know, it picks right up with the story. It's following through. It's supposed to be kind of odd and awkward because, you know, they're dealing in different realms, trying to get different stones, and also trying to figure a bunch of stuff out. I know that's not much of a review, but you really got to read this book to understand it because there's so much going on in it. It's hard to tell. And then you got the fact that the universe, there's people that have been blended together. So we got Darkhawk in here. I had to look up a couple of characters because, you know, I was out of comic books for a while. Just to figure out who some of these people meshed up were. But other than that, I've been enjoying this. I've always thought Sleepwalker was an underrated hero back in the day, and they gave him a perfect stage and they gave him a perfect tie-in with Infinity Wars, something that I don't think anybody was expecting. If you're not reading this, but you're reading Infinity Wars, you need to get caught up in this because this is going to be relevant.
Sleepwalker is the new Deadpool.
Does he kind of have that the sense about him? Does he kind of have that
Not as goofy.
Not as goofy. Okay. Did you read
And
that,
he
Mike?
He doesn't really break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's very serious, though. Everything he says is perfectly articulated, just like he did back in the 80s. Like he over talks things.
What'd you think of it, Mike? Did you read it?
No.
Oh, okay. Sure. What about you, Sleepwalkers issue 3?
Yeah, really digging this. This is how you make an event. Marvel is basically rewriting the blueprint. It's pretty much Infinity Gauntlet mixed with the amalgam books. And Marvel's like, we don't need DC to make great amalgam books. We'll just smush our own characters together and make amalgam books. And it's really a lot of fun. And Sleepwalker is a perfect character to kind of meander his way through this kind of broken universe. And I'm really digging it. Infinity Wars has been a stash all the way through, and all of the tie-ins and all of these books are really awesome. Really digging it. It's a stash.
Were you saying there was a thing, Foom and Man
Thing
matchup?
Fang Foom.
Yep.
He's right there on the cover. Fin
Yeah,
Fang
see
Foom and Man Thing.
Hmm.
And
It kind of
Galactic,
reminded me of a
Galactic Pimp was
version
cool
of
too.
the
Galactic Pimp's
weird
pretty
version
awesome.
of the dragon from Neverending Story, the way he's just riding on him.
Dark Starhawk.
Got a notification. Go ahead, Joe, in your next book. Saints Blow, according to Funko. Thank you.
Let's talk about Project Superpowers. Got this beautiful Bettina cover. Actually, it was the only variant I could get my hands on. This has been consistently good. They're setting up if you haven't read Project Superpowers back in the past, I highly recommend it. We got some just great artwork in here. We got a great storyline. We got a big bad that's trying to destroy the America, which is a costume spirit of America that turns you into superpowers. And he's chosen, or it, I should say, has chosen this young girl to be the harbinger of him or it. And something in outer space doesn't like this deal, Pandora, and he's looking for his box. There's the pun in there, which is like a cosmic cube type of thing. And, we got the Crimson, we got Black Terror, we got the Green Llama, and we got a bunch of other weird names that are all trying to stop this villain trying to do this. And it's just been beautiful artwork in it. And it's just a great story. I know it sounds weird, but man, I liked it. I really did. Definitely a stash for me.
Image Read Project Superpowers. No. Mike, you're up with your next book. Did you read it?
No.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
Let's do Uncanny X2. Awesome stuff again. Great stuff with Multiple Man. But the best part of this book is motherfucking X pointing the T-Rex stomach. Hey, stash this shit.
I picked it up. I have not read it yet. But Drew, tell me how I'm wrong anyhow. Go ahead, Drew.
You're wrong for not reading it yet. It's pretty awesome. Mike said it right there. This is not my stash of the week, but does have the greatest thing that happened in comics this week, and that is X-23 being swallowed by a T-Rex and bursting out the side. Freaking amazing. And the banter between Jean and Iceman throughout this entire book was really great as well. This is Bobby being Bobby the way you want him to be Bobby. I don't care what kind of pickles he kisses in his free time. When he's in my comic books, I want him fighting guys and I want him cracking wise. And that's what he does in this book. I absolutely love that. That's what's missing in Iceman's solo title. And that's why that is not selling anywhere. This book is great. We don't get too much of a reveal of the mystery that's going on, what's afoot, but there is a lot that is dropped in this as well. You're getting the fact that all of these episodes are tied together in one way or another, and that's Beast's theory. This is awesome. I'm digging it. This is a stash all the way. Didn't quite make stash of the week, but we'll get into what it did.
Paul, did you read that this week? He's muted. If he's, I'm not looking at the screen right now. I'm assuming if he's talking, he's muted. Or he's away. What is he doing? Let me go back to the screen. You're muted, dude.
I was shaking my head for like 5
Oh,
minutes.
well, I was looking at something else out here. I wasn't necessarily looking at that. Somebody else could have told me when I said I wasn't looking at the screen. Damn it. Joe.
I did, and I liked it so nice. I bought it twice. Got my cover of Jubilee up there.
Cover is awesome.
I know, I love that cover. That is just all kinds of action. So the story, yeah, great story. I think some of the biggest things in it is Multiple Man doing his thing, being all kinds of crazy, and then the big reveal in the end, Xavier's son, the prodigal son, has returned to come and help the kids out because they're getting a little anxious and they're not understanding why the old guys are popular and they're not, and they don't understand their place anymore. And we got Legion coming back. He's going to square it all away, supposedly. We're going to find out. So if that was by the way, if that was a spoiler for you, I'm sorry. It's Sunday. The book came out Wednesday. But I will say this.
Good thing I wasn't paying attention to him.
I can't get enough of this story. It's been really great. I think that the first issue was kind of slow for me. I didn't get the other stories in it, but now that I've read the second one and kind of find out that their place is in it and they're getting kind of weird about it, that makes it better. I think we're going to have an X-Men conflict come up soon, or at least I hope we do, because that would be just sick awesome. Classic X-Men against X-Men. We've seen it in the cartoons. We've seen it in the old comic books. They need to do that again if they're revamping the reboot for it, so we get new bad guys out of it. I think it will be awesome.
Before I jump into my next book, make sure you go over to our Facebook page. We have a poll up right now. You get to choose what was your favorite book of the week, and hopefully we'll get into people. Maybe we'll talk about it before the end of the show on what community thought was their favorite book of the week. My next book is Dallas by Vertigo. Oh, I'm sorry, it's American Carnage. Sorry, I kept hearing the the Dallas theme song every time I saw this cover. This would kind of remind me of Dallas with the cowboy hat.
Song.
Huh?
Theme song.
I do. I never did watch it. I don't remember who shot JR. I'm sorry. I wasn't watching that. I just knew it was a big event.
Oh, you're
talking
about the TV
I shot JR.
You shot JR?
I did.
You're talking about the TV show. I was actually talking about when we were.
Oh, no. No, we're not talking about Debbie Does Dallas. We're not talking about Dallas Comic-Con. We're talking about Dallas, the TV show. And in that case, who was shot Drew? That would be the Dallas Comic-Con. So
I shot there too.
You tried, but you missed. So American Carnage, heavy on the racism part of this whole thing. The whole thing is about an FBI agent who gets a former FBI agent who is half black, half white, but he looks white, to infiltrate the senator's inner sanctum. I know that sounds kind of sexual, but I'm not talking about, his whatever. I don't know.
Shrek
the Vertigo book. I'm not a big fan of it.
Self-dug hole there, Huey.
What's that?
You're dealing with the self-dug hole right there, buddy.
I know. I put myself right in it. Talking about his sanctum. I don't know. It was a blast for me. There's hardly any Vertigo books that come out that I really do like. It was just really heavy on the political side of it, and I understand some politics have some place in some books. I don't need it that heavy. That was too heavy for me. That's a blast. Maybe I'm just whatever. Drew, did you read that?
No.
You don't read Vertigo either, do you?
No.
Paul?
No.
Joe?
I knew it was going to be way too political, so I was like,
yeah. No. I should have passed on it.
Yeah, I went ahead and picked it up. Subject matter of it being racist or whatever, I don't see it as a political thing because we've had comic books in the past deal with it. We never said it was political back then. So I gave it a chance because I actually read the summary of it before I got it. And, if I forget about what today's things are and I read the book, it's actually not a bad story. I kind of get where they're going with it. However, a movie just came out not more than a few months ago that was a police officer infiltrating the Ku Klux Klan in a racist thing. And if I hadn't seen that movie, I could pick everything out right here in this book. Was it a good one? I'm not going to blast it. I'm going to stash it, but am I picking up the second issue? It's going to depend on what else comes out that week, to be honest. I at that point, but I mean, I'll throw it in the long box, probably get rid of it for a quarter in a few years. But yeah, great premise, great story. Could have done great things right there, but it got way too deep in the conversation where he's talking to his partner or the ex-FBI officer who's now Private Eye versus the FBI officer when they were talking about their backgrounds and who's what and blah, blah, blah. That was a stupid conversation that does not exist in any reality. So it was just stupid. Basically, I'm a black female. I don't really know what I am. I'm half black, half white, but it passes white. I'm like, why is this a conversation people have? I sit in bars all the time, and I'm mostly Irish versus Scottish, and then we drink and yell at each other. That's the way that works. This should not have been a thing. So yeah, but good action scenes in it, good art. I enjoyed the art in it. But other than that, I'll keep it, and I might pick up, issue 2 just to see where it goes, to see if the guy gets busted or not, trying to infiltrate a racist group of people, blah blah blah. But I'll read anything.
It too many cliches going into it. You knew, okay, yep, and I knew that was going to happen. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. And it was just, yeah.
The only thing that was missing was a 1980s montage. That's the only thing that was missing.
Yeah. That was my book. Back to Drew and his book.
See, funny thing about American Carnage is I didn't pick it up because I picked up a book that was about the real Carnage. This is a superhero medium. That's Web of Venom, Carnage Born. I also picked up this sweet variant cover.
Not like that. I passed on that one.
Really dig that. What?
I didn't pick up that second. I didn't like that second cover. That's just me. Sorry to interrupt you. I was just making a comment.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's okay. This is a stash, guys. This is close to my stash of the week as well. Donny Cates finds a really great way of bringing back Venom. Carnage. This ties directly into the Venom story with the Maker and the cult of Null, the cult of the symbiotes. This is really cool stuff. It's super gory. It's super brutal, and you're gonna love it. Yeah, Null, Carnage, one and the same. Really good stuff. Excited about this. Very few things edged this out as far as pick of the week, but like I said, I love most of what came out this week. This is fantastic, and if you're not reading it, you're missing out.
Paul, did you read Web of Venom Carnage Born?
Yep. And for me, it was just okay. I mean, I wasn't blown away by it by any means. It's Carnage is back, yay, rah, rah. So freaking what? Nobody ever dies in comics. I thought the art was at the Marvel Community College standard level. And
that burns. It burns.
And I thought the story was just muddled. I mean, it could have been so much better.
Joe, what'd you think of it?
Why, yes, I did read it, and I got an exclusive variant for it as well.
Ooh.
That's a sick variant. That's how you do a variant right there.
That's pretty.
Especially when it comes to Carnage.
Is it the Stankiewicz or whatever? Stankiewicz?
Midtown.
Oh, Midtown.
Yeah, Shitchkowitz or
Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
His name is Bill Sienkiewicz, yes.
And I picked up the one
whatever.
by the tattoo artist as well. That's okay. I'll give it that. Now the story. Oh my Lord, what a story! You have a reverse Jesus story happening. You have evil being reincarnated, coming from space, so the ancient alien folks can get on board with it.
Ancient alien reverse Jesus.
Reverse Jesus story. He is back.
White Space Christ.
But it's epic. Usually when you get this kind of story, the heroes died and they've come some way back. And we're used to villains coming back, yeah, but it's always some smart, ingenious way. This was just by nature's force that he's back. And how epically strong is that? And then you tap toe into the beliefs of some crazy people in a cult that worship him. And I'm like, oh my Lord, I have a YouTube channel. I got 50 followers. I call myself a cult leader all the time. This is relevant to me. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. And oh my God, if you didn't pick up the book, you got to go get it because it just reads so well. The story just flows perfectly. Now the art in it, I'm going to give the art for what the art is. It's carnage. Therefore, the story and the art in it should be somewhat rough and kind of chaotic because that's what carnage is. It fits that title, right? So I don't expect super flow through it. I don't expect super clean lines. I expect carnage in it. And this is how you do a villain. I mean, and I try not to cuss a whole lot on the channel, but this is a straight up zero fucks villain. Yeah, I love it.
Mike, we know you read it.
Yes, this is close to my pick of the week as well. You guys said it all, really. After they do resurrect him, he ends up killing us, not before learning that everyone who's had a symbiote attached to him during peace, and he's going to be people, so it's going to be really good. Stash it. Close to the pick of the week.
Yeah, going back into that, everybody that was on that screen at the end that's had a symbiote on them, like that's everybody. And the freaking Marvel universe at this point has had the symbiote at one point in time, so he's going to go on a killing spree, and try to take out as many people as possible. And I'm super hyped for that.
So they must be going back to Feminize stuff, what we had about a year ago, maybe a little less than that, where, we had Cap, Feminize, we had all these characters. Is that going to, I wonder if that's going to play a part into this. So you're talking about that screens at the end where all the people who he must go kill or attack now. I do like the fact that it's not just Carnage coming back. It's not just Cassidy coming back. It's infused with that Null or the dragon or the weather god. So that kind of gives a little more of a twist. I think it's going to bring a little more dynamics to the character. So I'm looking forward to this going forward. But this is just a one shot. This is just telling his story. Now it's going to jump back into Venom. I believe that's what I understand. So definitely stash for me. If you're not into this, I don't know what to think. I think you can't be saved. But see, Drew started that one. That's back to Paul.
So I'll start it since it's my area. I read Middle West. And I really dug it. I mean, I'm predisposed because the Midwest is getting some love. But the story behind it's really good. I mean, even Scotty Young says it in the notes at the end. He said he loves doing kids on a quest stories, and that's exactly what this is. Kid trying to figure out where he fits in the world, and with lots of crazy action. So I'm gonna jump on the train that's in this, and I'm gonna follow this ride. Definite stash.
Joe?
Midwest, yeah. Read this. I mean, we can go deep with this story right here. Kid, child abuse, dad turns into a tornado, the embodiment of anger. Kid runs away, and he's on his own quest, if you will, to find himself. Deep stuff going on here. Really like it. Or if you want to be shallow with it. Cool kid has some sort of magical powers from mom. Dad's actually an evil demon. This book could go either way in the next few issues. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm ready to read this. Definitely a stash.
And as Scotty Young says, he threw in a talking fox because comics.
Fox.
Yeah. Mike, how about you? Middle West?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. One thing that stood out for me was the art. Is it Jorge Corona did the art? But yeah, that stood out for me. So it's a stash for me as well. And I lost the chat, by the way, completely. I don't know what's going on.
Well, you're coming in better now. You're not as choppy. Maybe you don't need the chat.
Maybe
The chat was holding you back all along.
Chat was
it's been killing you.
me back.
Way to go, chat.
So,
Weighing down Grandpa.
I think this is actually my pick of the week. I did enjoy it. I'm not from the Midwest, and I enjoyed this. I'm from the PNW. I'm a Pacific Northwester. This was good stuff. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I never thought about the way you did, Joe, talking about you could take it the other way, as in mom's a hero and her dad's a demon or whatever. I thought it was good. It had me intrigued the entire time going through the story. Dad's a total douchebag. I mean, the kid seemed like he's a pretty good kid. He makes a couple wrong decisions. He's a teenager, but nothing severe, What I don't understand is all of this. See, let's make a lot of places like the little tubes full of fluid or whatever. I don't know what that means. Maybe that'll play something in the story. Maybe they'll explain it.
Go back into the story. They're light posts. It's how they generate light. You're dealing in a futuristic type world.
Did they say that in there? I don't remember reading that.
Not really, but if you look at the way the buildings are all shaped up, they all got these power generators on them. They're very subtly put throughout the book, but the buildings have like these turbines on them. It's very gothic, steampunkish, gothic type energy sources. They're stringed up as lights throughout the town. I thought that was kind of very subtly put in there and very smartly put in there too.
The art was good. I recognize his art from something else though too, but it fit the story really well. I thought it flowed really well. Again, my pick of the week. Hopefully, find out more about this relationship between him and his dad. I mean, he's left his dad, and his dad's trying to chase him down. But good stuff. But we know Drew didn't read that this week because he said he missed out.
No, and there's an actual funny story about that. Scott Young is one of my favorite creators, both in art and writing, and I'm pretty sure this was on my pull list, and I didn't get a copy, so I'm really hoping it's there when I go back tomorrow.
Maybe I give him a call tonight.
He's going to show up at the store tomorrow looking like the girl from Fuck Fairyland.
Pretty much, yeah. Me and Gert, she's my spirit animal.
Joe, your next book.
I'm going to go with another Infinity Warp since we talked about the first one. Let's talk about Ghost Panther. Now, I like this so much.
Isn't that cologne they talk about in Anchorman? Isn't that the cologne that like the Ghost Panther?
Sex Panther.
Yeah, the Sex Panther.
Sex Panther, sorry. Not Ghost Panther. That's why I didn't pick it up. I thought it was a cologne.
I liked it so much.
50% of the time it works every time.
I went ahead and bought it twice. This is Panther and Ghost Rider being clashed together and the conflict there. Badass story. I really like the way they made T'Challa Johnny Blaze. They literally called him Johnny Blaze in there. That they changed his name. They brought him back to life. He's got to work a deal with an African spirit. It was creepy art in it that just fit the story with it. I mean, it was better than just dealing with a devil. We were dealing with really kind of trickster type spirit here, and the way it worked out in the end, I'm going to be excited about this. This is an awesome story. It dealt with both universes very well. I thought they mixed them together, and the artwork in it, it's not my favorite, but it does fit the story, so I can't even complain about that. And this is my stash of the week. This was just great. I loved it.
Remember reading Sex Panther, Drew? You read it? Mike, did you read it?
Yes, I read it. I enjoyed it as well. The only thing I was a little disappointed in, we didn't get to see the father. But I guess that's going to happen in issue 2. So I'm stashing it as well.
We're getting a second issue next month, so
Next
be
month.
ready. Be ready for Flaming Panthers in December.
That's like the follow-up.
Reign of Flaming Panthers.
Flaming Panthers! Drew, what'd you think of Flaming Panther?
Yes, stash it. It was really great. I did like the art. I liked the story a lot. I thought it was a really great twist on both characters. But my favorite thing about it was the cover A, this This Ramos cover here, I just absolutely love it. The detail and the way the claws are drawn there is fantastic. Man, I absolutely love everything about this cover. The flames themselves have so much character. Really great stuff. I like Ramos's art, and man, this Ghost Panther, what a fantastic idea. Really dig it.
Paul, did you read that?
Nope, did not read that one.
Look at you missing out.
I didn't read it either, so I'm not picking up any of that Infinity Warps crap. Mike, you're up. After you drink a swig of your cola. The generic cola?
Yeah, it's generic. Like
It's not Sam's
69
Club.
cents.
What's
It's generic.
what's
Big K.
Big K? That's right, Big K. So real quick before we jump into comics, you work in retail. How was your Black Friday experience?
Uneventful because I'm not in that type of retail.
You're not in that type of retail?
That's funny because your Facebook all week sounded like you had Tourette's.
When doesn't it?
In a grocery store, Black Friday, we're dead. But it's the day before Thanksgiving.
Wacky Wednesday.
Wacky Wednesday. My first book is going to be my shit book of the week, and that is GoBots, #1.
Did you expect GoBots to not be shitty?
This book, if you don't know what GoBots were, the rich kids formers, and the poor kids like myself had to suffer and get the GoBots. Were cheap knockoffs of the Transformers. This book is horrible art. I'll show you some of the art inside. Here's Sidekill with a down leader 1 right there. It's just crap. I hate it. Shit book of the week.
Wow. Anybody else read GoBots this week? I didn't. Oh, Joe read GoBots. He even picked up 2 issues.
Yeah. Fuck this book.
Talking about not using bad language. That's twice, 2 reviews in a row.
I know. That just makes me angry.
I don't think there's any word that could properly convey the travesty that is this book.
Y'all have heard me go off on books on here before. Look, if you need to start, winter's coming, right? Winter is coming. If you need something to start the fire in the fireplace, go buy this book. Perfect kindling. The art in it, I thought when I first started reading it, I was like, something's wrong with this book. So I actually opened up the variant one. Like maybe that copy was just like waterlogged or something. And nope, it's the same crap. It's like just dirty pages, dirty art in it. The story makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
None.
Seriously, and I bought a variant for it, and I hate wasting my money. Ooh, I hate wasting my money. I hate wasting my money. I want to set this on fire, and I just want to watch it burn. And I want to buy some GoBot toys and throw it into the fire too, because now I'm bringing up being made fun of when all my friends had Transformers and I had GoBots. Seriously, I got PTSD from that shit. Fuck this book. Fuck GoBots.
Did you read that, Paul?
I noped out of it when I saw it, and I opened it up, and I was like, no.
How about you, Drew?
Funny story about GoBots is my blast of the week is not GoBots, but it's Mikey and Joey for expecting a book based on what is essentially shitty Transformers to be any good in the first place. What the fuck are you doing buying a GoBots book?
I need something to talk about on Blast or Stash It.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
See, I heard that GoBots came out before Transformers, just as in the toy line.
They did, and they were pre-released before the Transformers and the Transformers came out. They originally came out in Japan, I want to say, and then they made it over
Yes.
to the U.S. But within like 4 months in the market, Transformers came out.
Beta came out before VHS. Doesn't mean it was better.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like you guys just bought Betamax, the comic book. That's what happened. You just bought Betamax, the comic book.
You know what? This book will be worth money someday because it's such a bad book.
Yeah, it'll be
everybody's
worth
gonna
money
start
someday,
fires
just
on-
like your 2 stripe Adidas knockoffs from Kmart.
In Korea.
But Dudas.
Okay,
2 stripe
my
kids.
next book is Punisher number 4. So in the last book, he ends up getting arrested by the FBI or the police. I remember who it was, taken to jail. Nick Fury, I think, shows up, but it's not Nick Fury. Jigsaw's there as well. Big battle ensues. Great fight scenes. Lots of death. Good Punisher stuff. Stashing it. Better. I mean, the Ultraviolet Punisher is my Punisher. So that's good stuff right there for me. Drew, Punisher?
Yeah, Rosenberg Punisher. Talked about it when we talked about Marvel Knights. This is very close to being my pick of the week. This was my favorite book that is not my pick of the week. This is runner-up. This is the runner-up, and I loved it so much. Really fantastic stuff. We get a tie back to when he was wearing the War Machine armor. Some fantastic stuff with what's her name's Black Widow. So we get that tied in again. Jigsaw's badass, Chameleon's badass. There's like a Hydra recruitment conference, and don't go to one of those if you don't want some bullets in your brain, apparently, because Frank ain't having that shit. Nobody's recruiting people for Hydra. They're just, you showed up to the meeting, here's a bullet for you. Put it right in your brain pan. This is fantastic. I loved it. Rosenberg is doing a fantastic job on this, and the art has been consistent for the first 4 issues of this run as well. Really great. That's the thing that was really missing from the last run. I just love him Punisher.
Paul?
This is probably also my runner-up for pick of the week. This has just been amazing. Tons of violence, death, mayhem, and destruction. And the way the last couple weeks have gone for me, that's exactly what I needed. So it was just amazing. I loved it. Everything about it is great. The art was, on the last issue, I said there were a couple unfortunate panels where the art style just didn't work for their facial expressions. Didn't seem to have as much of that in this one. So I think the art really worked well for it. And this has just been a great ride.
Joe, did you read that?
No.
Mike?
Really? This is my pick of the week. I know it was your guys' runner. We also find out that someone else has gotten hold of.
That's right. Yeah.
I also love the way Jigsaw is drawn in about it, man. Amazing pick of the week. Punisher number 4.
And back to Drew for your next book.
All right, my next book. Let's talk about Spider-Geddon. Oh, man. Spider-Geddon came out and got this really great connecting variant here. Can't wait to put all those together. And here is the regular cover here. Big spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you guys had been paying attention to The Amazing Spider-Man, there was this book called Clone Conspiracy, where we got the return of Ben Reilly, and Ben Reilly made a bunch of clones of people and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And here we have 2 of those clones here. The body of the Superior Octopus, the Superior Spider-Man, is technically a Ben Reilly Peter Parker clone. We have Ben Reilly here on the cover as well, who is the original Peter Parker clone. And Doc Ock takes him and feeds him to more London and the Inheritors. It's pretty awesome. Hopefully Ben Reilly's dead again. That would be great. I can't wait for that to be the thing. He has got a great costume, but beyond that, he sucks. And he deserves to be dead. And we deserve a Superior Spider-Man with his edge back. So, really digging this. Just when you thought he was going to play nice with everybody, Otto Octavius goes back to his devious ways. So that's stash.
Drew, or not Drew, Paul, did you read Spider-Geddon?
I did not.
Joe?
I did. Now I got myself 2 covers of that. Loving that cover right there. That's a beautiful cover. And then I went ahead and picked up that nice variant as well.
Dig that.
Is that right? How awesome is that cover? I'm so sweet.
Fantastic.
Very lucky to get them. So yeah, what do we got going on here? I think we're there with the maximum amount of spiders that we can have in tie-in stories and main story continuity. I had to go back and pull a couple of other comics out just to make sure I understood who that Spider-Man was at some points, because I'm starting to lose track of some of them, but I'm enjoying all of it. I don't mind going back and looking back at a comic book. My memory isn't that great anyway, so I'm probably the only one with this problem. But what I will say is we talked about it last week. The breakup between utilitarian belief and content belief, and Dr. Octavius did the typical thing that happens in cotton belief. He's the bad guy, he's got to go, right? And with Enter the other, I'm sure we'll get to the other tie-ins as well here in a minute, because now they're becoming more and more relevant to the story. And like, I read them out of order. I actually, when I first read them, right, I didn't know which one you should read first. It doesn't tell you on the cover. That much I'm not liking. So once I kind of understood it and kind of went back and read them in order the way they should be read, it makes a lot more sense, just as a warning out there to everybody. Because when we talk about the relevance of the guy with the space helmet on and his deal and why he's important, you got to go back and make sure you understand that storyline and why everything's radioactive, to understand why the tie-in to Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse versus it's starting to get kind of complicated to keep track of all the stories, but they're telling a great story, and it's actually worth a little bit of effort here. This is classic stuff going on. Loving it.
Mike, you read that?
I did, and I think Joe said it. I think we're at the maximum spider allotment for the story, because anymore. But yeah, I also like what Drew said about Octavius returning to his evil ways. So, and that was badass as well. Yeah.
Okay, going back to the next book. Sorry,
I'm actually out of books. I was
out of books.
Yep.
Let's just sit back and just listen.
The Bookless Wonder.
Back to Joe then for your next book.
Since we kind of entered it, we kind of mentioned it, I'll go ahead and do Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse. Had to get the 8-bit classic because it actually reminded me of the Spider-Man game back in the 80s. And of course, the regular one. We got a great story here where we got Miles Morales being Miles Morales, and we got a great story at the end that just deals with him. I wasn't too familiar with Miles Morales other than the regular stuff. So it was good to kind of get that insight on him, about him, Spider-Ham doing some Spider-Ham goodness in this, Spider-Gwen getting involved. A lot of banter. We actually had a fight scene where it was basically nothing but each of them doing their own funny combat banter to the villains that they were dealing with, which was another version of the Secret Six in that particular world. So Doc Ock was in it, and different versions of different villains in there. Great story, and it was really great. Again, though, if you read it out of order, you're like, why is this even relevant? And because you should have read this one first, and then this one, and then the one that we just talked, and it just gets a little complicated. I wish they would kind of give us a hint which one we need to read first. No, that's my only complaint. But other than that, great artwork, great storytelling, and great action scenes too. Just different ways they're shooting the webs and everything. I've always kind of liked that about Spider-Man, the way they shoot their webs and the way they bind people up and the different combat moves they use. They really illustrate it very well in this story. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, Mike's holding it up. What do you think of Mike?
I didn't think this one had anything to do with Spider-Geddon. Wrong. I actually didn't care for it. So I'm going to blast this one. And the Miles backup story at the end is just a reprint of Man number 1. So, but anyway, this was okay, but I'm still gonna blast it because I haven't blasted much tonight.
But just because you haven't blasted much tonight, you're gonna do that?
Yep.
Even it up.
I thought this was kind of a lead into the movie that's coming out. I didn't think it had much of a connection with. I have not been reading any of the Spider-Geddon. I have not read this book yet either. I have it, but I haven't read it. So it makes me wonder if it is supposed to be some kind of tie-in to the movie. Is Spider-Geddon going to be in that movie? And we know Spider-Ham's going to be there. We know Gwenpool and Peter Parker and Miles Morales. But I wonder if Spider-Geddon's going to be there.
Ghost Spider to you.
That's what?
Ghost Spider.
Oh, whatever it is now. Okay, it's good. Not Spider-Gwen anymore, right?
Well, you said
Not this week, anyways.
I'll say Spider-Gwen. Sorry. Okay, so
too many spiders.
yeah, whatever it is. So I haven't read it yet. I'll probably read it before. Well, I'm definitely going to go watch the movie. My son and daughter both really want to watch it, so we'll definitely be watching that. Maybe I might give it a read before then for sure. But Drew, did you read Into the Spider-Verse?
No, I did not.
Oh my God, you did not? Why not?
Because I don't buy movie tie-ins.
I didn't know it was a movie tie-in.
I thought it was a movie tie-in.
So
no, it's okay. I mean, it's just not my cup of tea. And most of the time, those movie tie-ins do nothing for me, so I avoided it.
Dude, did we miss something? Did he go in and smoke a bowl here just a second ago? Somebody's got really mellow all of a sudden. He's not so like angry. No more angry.
Hey! Fuck Into the Spider-Verse. Dirty sons of bitches.
Mike, you have any more books this week? Yeah, a little better.
Yeah, next book I have is Extra number 2. Another great, amazing tale of the sisters. In this one, we really get an origin story. They became demon hunters, and to do with their mom making a. She should really enjoying this stuff, stashing it.
You guys read Exo Sisters numero dos?
Yeah, I'm straight.
That's debatable.
No, it's not.
Let's go. Light Step number 1 by Dark Horse Comics. I guess Any Picks or whatever comics is an imprint of Dark Horse. So this wasn't on my pull list. This is another one that I saw that was out this week. Kind of remind me of Logan's Run a little bit. You know, kind of futuristic, as in there's these dominant people who end up getting killed in order to progress the human race. You know, they say it's all fake, but you know, it doesn't appear to be fake. She kind of breaks away and decides that she's not going to participate in it. So it kind of reminds me of Logan's Run a little bit. Definitely not my book. Nothing to do with millennials. No millennials are in here at all. These people are
millennials of the future.
Yeah, millennials of the future, maybe, but they're not millennials. They're called something else. So, not my book. Not a Gen Xer. So, sorry, no bueno. Anybody else read Light Step this week? It was a very, very called Light Step, but it was the wrong step, pretty much. So, I guess going back to Drew and your next book.
All right, let's talk about The Immortal Hulk, number 9. This series has been pretty cool. The Absorbing Man has been imbued with some red gamma powers. He's fighting the Hulk, and the Hulk's having some hard times with it, which is a lot of fun. I like the fact that Al Ewing has brought back the military installation, basically hunting the traveling Hulk. And they're taking the opportunity to make the Absorbing Man a formidable villain. Especially when his first words in this book are like, the Hulk kicks my ass all the time. I never want to fight against the guy. So that's pretty cool. I think my favorite part about this book this week, though, is the Uncanny X-Men cover, which is Art Adams doing the X-Babies and Mojo. That right there made me very happy, and I'm glad to have that as part of my collection. Both the book and the variant cover stashed for me.
Okay, moving on to Amber Street Hulk this week. Oh, Mike's holding it up. What do you think of Hulk?
It's a stash for me. His top cover, but my highlight is the last panel where the fucking is split in half and his spine is just sitting there.
That was pretty cool.
You have to show it because it's fucking amazing. Hulk's been amazing. Right fucking there.
Dude, like ripped
Stash
his
it.
in half.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
He rips himself in half.
Oh, really?
Too much
I have
candles.
not been picking that up. I did recently go and I found, I guess this is kind of a hot book right now, number 2. I was able to get that today or yesterday. So yeah, that's kicking up in price. So I went and picked up that. I mean, I enjoyed the first issue. I almost picked up that issue because it seemed, I do like the Alex Ross cover on that too. So I may go back and pick up those other back issues on that bad boy. I know you don't have any books, Paul, but we're here to check in on you. How you doing?
I'm alive and well.
Okay, good. We're an hour and 12 minutes right now. Shit, maybe we should go lightning round on this some bitch. Yeah, I guess we're gonna. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books to go over, and that would take forever. I don't know how many.
Joey's got some books to go over as well. Mike,
Yeah.
you're done with books?
I just have one real quick, and that's
Go for it.
Force number 2.
Then I'll lightning round after that.
Force number 2, Spider Geddon stuff. Stash it. There you go.
That was it.
That was it.
Okay.
I'm out of book.
Anybody else read that book before you jump in the lightning round?
Yeah, I read it. Again, really like this astronaut spider guy thing that was happening. That was pretty cool. Great story in there. The inhibitors are doing what they do best. They're finally becoming villains. I want to see more villainy from them. And they gave it to me in this book. And I really like that. And yeah, they've been kind of light lately. And you know me, I want to see villains do bad shit. And I want to see heroes stop them. And we got that in this book. And it was awesome. We kind of see this lone space ranger type attitude guy from him, where he doesn't want the help of the other spider people. He wants to go take care of it himself. And guess what? He does. And it was just a great story. So I enjoyed it.
Drew, did you read that one before you go lightning?
No, I actually didn't pick that one up. I really enjoyed the first issue, and I can't believe I missed that one along with Middle West. I'm definitely going to get back to this job.
Lightning has affected Drew's mic tonight, apparently.
All right. Yeah, I didn't read that.
Okay. Lightning round. That Mike woggle means it's lightning round. So go ahead.
All right. Justice League number 12. Yeah, this Perillo cover here has movie Aquaman on it. I don't know why. We got comic Aquaman on the inside. And this Aquaman-focused story around Earth is probably the weakest thing that's come out of Justice League since Snyder took over, but it's still pretty darn good. Tiny N is filling in on this issue. I'm enjoying it. Weapon H number 10. This is a stash. It's pretty good stuff. Nothing really to write home about, though. I'm just enjoying that book. Iron Man number 6. Haven't gotten to it yet. New World number 5. Haven't gotten to this yet either. Haven't gotten to Days of Hate yet. I'm waiting to read all of this in one shot. The bigger chunks I've read it in have been better received than reading it issue by issue. Picked up the Doctor Strange X-Men variant here. This is the Wolverine and the X-Men team.
Jesus,
really
his arms
enjoying
are the size
look
of
at
his
that.
waist.
Yeah, he's got big biceps because he hits the gym, Huey. What would you know about that?
I don't know, man.
Biceps don't go past the elbow, Slick.
These don't go past his elbow.
They do now.
What's his
Like-
elbow there? It's foreshortening.
It's
But I dig it. I think
like
it's
the
awesome.
guy in Russia who injected like 8 pounds of saline into his bicep.
You know what? You're like the guy in Russia that
Oh wow, that's a comeback of a 5-year-old.
Bird.
haven't gotten to Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur yet. Getting back to these books and away from your snide comments, dirty motherfuckers. And this was kind of the week of X-Men. Shatterstar #2. This was a stash. We're hanging out, not all Mojo World, but kind of doing the same thing with the Grand Master. Yeah, I'm enjoying all the action in this. Really well drawn. Digging it. Weapon X. This is kind of a stash here too, a light stash. I'm ready for this story to be over, but we got Sabretooth and the gang examining their own sins in hell, which is pretty awesome. The ultimate issue of Astonishing X-Men, #17, came out this week. I also picked up the Uncanny X-Men variant with the original team here. This is the redemption of Alex Summers. So he's kind of he's a hero again. Good stuff. Kelly Thompson's doing a great job writing this. It's being drawn very well. This is Rogue and Gambit and Mr. and Mrs. X. They're hanging out in space. They're off planet for all this Uncanny X-Men nonsense that's going on right now, and they're hanging out with Corsair and the Starjammers. Can't beat that. That's a lot of fun. And then right before we get to my pick of the week, we'll talk about Teen Titans #24. This isn't an X-Men book, but this team is totally inspired by the X-Men. And this is definitely a stash as well. Loving these beat covers.
I was told that there was not a beat cover for that book, and now I'm a tad bit irritated.
Somebody lied to you because there is. It's right here. And this really shows how well the Titans can work together when they communicate, and they grow a little bit. But there is some unrest at the end of this, and we're going to see if that girl drama moves forward throughout this book. Ooh, girl drama in a teen book. Who'd have thunk it?
That sounds like our show every week. A little teen drama.
A little bit of girl drama for you.
On
to my pick of the week.
Oh, sorry.
No, I've got a pick of the week, and I'm going to say some stuff about it. And that's
I didn't mean to cut you off there. Okay.
Shut the fuck up and let me do my thing. God.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Black Hammer: Age of Doom #7. This is Colonel Weird in the alternate dimension, the dimension of unfinished ideas. We get a lot of the unfinished ideas for the Black Hammer universe, which is really cool stuff. You got Inspector and Sector in here. He's absolutely hilarious. We get the pets from this universe, which were never shown. We get the anti-god as well in this universe, and we break a hole on through to our own universe. There's a lot of stuff with creators in here, a lot of god level breaking of the fourth wall kind of metaphors for what goes on in comics. Very Grant Morrison kind of stuff. Fucking gem.
That's a twofer.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with the thing. It's my fucking internet is haunted.
I don't know, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's internet or what.
Anyway, this is a stash of the week. This is better than anything else that came out this week. The art's kind of here or there for it's very stylized. Might not be for everybody, but this story is fantastic, and we're definitely getting a what we call the reboot in the next issue of Black Hammer. So we're going to see where the other heroes went when this time split happened. And if you're not reading this, man, get on board. It's 4 trades deep at this point. There's a bunch of different side stuff for this universe. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, everything is really tying together at this point. Really, really loving Black Hammer. Nothing else out there right now really even comes close to making me as excited as this Black Hammer universe does. And that's why it's my stash of the week. Now do whatever you want. Yell at me for my headphones being
We'll
terrible.
go back to Joe.
All right, so lightning round. Mainstream books that I got. Drowning Earth. Been really digging this story. Yeah, I don't understand why they got the actor on there, and inside it's the regular
Yeah, they're
Aquaman.
promoting the movie.
Yeah, I get it. It's a sell. I bought it. I'm a sucker. And I hate Aquaman. Like, I actually got Aquaman. That was Justice League. Here's Aquaman. Or is it the other way? No, this is just the other one was Aquaman. Yeah, I've never been an Aquaman fan, but I'm really enjoying this story. Great stuff going on in it. Yada, yada, yada. Read it. Fucking Fish Whisperer. Hashtag Fish Whisperer. Next. Weapon X. Enjoyed the last issue of this. Enjoying this. We're in a new story arc here. Got some Azazel. Got some dealing with your sin stuff. Probably going to have more of a Faust feeling to it here really soon. With some sort of deal to get out of there. I almost promise you that. Got the Teen Titans, read it. It's the first time I've read the new Teen Titans. Read it, and I was like, you're stuck under a building. You got to figure a way out. Eventually, y'all going to shut up and listen to somebody. Yeah, was not entertained by it. I know, I'm a horrible person. Off-brand or off-lane, off the main. Got Rick and Morty, Pickle Rick. This was hilarious.
Rick!
Pickle Rick. This was great. I loved this. This was funny. It was witty. I could hear his voice in my head. It basically followed the cartoon line where he turned into a cowboy, just add some more detail to it. It was pretty funny. I enjoyed it, but I like trash humor. It's okay. Archie 700. In case you want to know what the big deal with Archie 700 is, because you haven't figured it out yet, he's dating Sabrina and he's blowing off Betty and Veronica because they ain't giving it up.
They're not blowing him off.
Yep. Story
No,
done.
Sabrina is.
Yeah, she's a dirty bird. All right, next.
That's the way we like them.
Conspiracy. Conspiracy, the Illuminati. I don't know what the hell's going on in this story. I got to get issue 2 just to figure out what is going on. Very politically based. Basically, Republicans are crazy. Democrats are running everything because they're truly evil. So you don't really know who the bad guy is in this. It's weird. So there you go. If you don't want to get into a political comic book, probably best to stay away from that one. Betty Page, you got this. This was good. Betty Page goodness. She's battling aliens again. This one, she helped out England. I'm sorry.
Look at that meat and potatoes hanging right there.
Old school meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes.
Hanging right there. Hanging right there.
Hanging. Dark Whispers, very military book.
Spring Dark.
Oh yeah, this stuff is dark. This is
You said Dark Whisper.
Yeah, it is.
Spring Dark. Sorry.
Whatever you got to do. I mean, lights off, lights on. I don't know.
Hey, this is a dark comic book. This stuff they're dealing with some stuff in here. Like, is it okay to shoot somebody or take down an entire family just because a guy has a shotgun and everybody's got fully automatic weapons?
Yeah, it is.
This is deep. This is scary deep. Let's see. Burnouts. I'm surprised nobody else got this. I know some of you have been reading this. This has been fun reading. If you don't know, they're all in jail and they're getting sober, so the aliens are coming to get them. Oh, you got
That sounds awful.
It was great. Dick Tracy, number 2. Always been a fan of Dick Tracy, the movie, the old television show, the old comic book, and it's following right in that. Everybody sounds like a 1920s mobster in this, the way it reads. And you get that. Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
It has been awesome. And they use a lot of verbiage from back then. It's just good stuff. Definitely a stash. Next, I got a
name. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I'll shut up.
I got a religious comic. It's called Knights of the Golden Sun. Basically, we're dealing with Michael having to deal with Lucifer, and the birth of Jesus just happened, and everybody's lost their providence from the Lord, and he's kind of disappeared, and angels and demons. Now, here's the weird thing about it. It's actually a pretty good story. It reads like a good comic book story. It really does. And it is somewhat relevant to the Bible to some degree. So somebody figured out how to make the Bible cool. The artwork's great in it. I think it's a little deeper than a child needs to read. But if you're a comic book fan, you like classic Winged Warriors type stuff, this is not too shabby. I was very surprised by this. It's not preachy or anything. So definitely stashing that. And I just picked this up today. It's the World's Greatest Superheroes Holiday Special from Walmart. Yes, I'm throwing this book up here. I don't think these books are getting enough credit. The artwork's been consistent in them. Several artists are involved in it. There's like one in it with some crappy artwork and crappy story, but the rest of them have been very good. In this particular issue, you got a Catwoman story, which was awesome. You got a Superman story, which was, but then again. You got a Supergirl story, which was awesome. Green Lantern was weird. I didn't understand it. Batman and Harley Quinn are just being funny in this. These things are not that bad. Definitely pick them up. I know everybody's worried about my local Walmart's been doing a very good job of not letting people rummage through them. So definitely check these out. They're not that bad. It's a good read, and it's a pretty thick book for the price that it is. Not too shabby.
Is that it for you?
As far as books go, I actually picked up some plastic this week, and I can't wait to talk about it.
We'll talk
Ooh,
about
let's shout out to the chat real quick, though, because we got
Okay, go ahead.
Pope Grimy and C. Woodard hanging out now. Good to see those guys popping through. We can dare to defy, and we all know that Popin ain't easy.
Open ain't easy. A couple books, back issues. My LCS grabbed another copy of this for me off the shelf. Didn't even ask him to. I talked about it. I sent him a message. Dead Rabbit #1. Got another copy of that. Picked this up based on just the cover. I think you had it last week, Joe. And that's the Superman that still tickles. That black cover.
It's
Man,
awesome.
that looks freaking awesome. Not even reading Superman. Picked it up based on that. This one I picked up based on Paul's review, and I had to grab that. And that's Auntie Agatha's Home for Wayward Rabbits. It was a pretty funny book. I read through it. Good stuff. Books this week, I did not read Justice League. Didn't get a chance to read that one yet. Did read Teen Titans. Pissed that I don't have cover B because I was told there was no other cover. So I got to go pick up cover B somewhere. It's good stuff. Continuing to stash that. Night Moves. What I thought what it was turned out to take a 90 on this freaking book. I thought it was mainly going to be about like mobsters in Las Vegas, and maybe he owed money. Took a big turn. Kind of a cult religious thing going on here. Not sure what's going on there. I might pick up issue 2 just to kind of see where it's going to go.
Are you working on your night moves?
I'm working on my night moves. Bob Seger's coming over later. We're going to work on them. Not me. People probably know who Bob
Are you
Seger
going to
is.
make out with Bob Seger?
No, well, no. He's coaching me. Sorry. We're not like that. Sorry. Okay, go back on track here. Black Badge, scouting stuff. Again, this has been a solid stash for me. So #4, going to finish on collecting Black Badge. Talk to my scouts about that all the time. They're like, for comic books, whatever. Pestilence #5, Story of Satan. This has been good. Paul, you read the first arc of Pestilence. You've been reading this?
No, I haven't had a chance to catch up. I mean, I've been picking them up. I haven't read them yet, though.
Yeah, good stuff. Continuing on there. And I grabbed this one yesterday, Lollipop Kids #2. First one was good enough. Second one's good. Although the main character I thought was a girl, it's actually a boy. I didn't know.
Whoopsie.
There you go, not knowing about millennials again.
Yeah. Here I assume their gender.
You have that
And what
problem
do I get?
often.
But it is a stash for me as well. Before we jump into the next segment, Paul has got to bounce out. He's got to go to work. He's got to actually get some sleep to actually do some effective work tomorrow. So you want to do shout outs before you head out?
At least attempt to do some meaningful work. Yeah, just as always, shout out to everybody in the chat. The reason we do this, it's nice to get away to this every once in a while, every week, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right, later, Paul.
Later, I'll catch you guys next week.
Mm-hmm. So we'll jump into a segment. If we can do it, if Mike is capable, if he has something prepared, let's go to it. Nope, we didn't even catch. All we caught was
Man,
mouth.
Your Funko mouth.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right. It's not a whole lot of news. What the fuck happened? Not a whole lot of news. All them Jim Lee Funko Pop will be getting a re-release with bundled with a T-shirt, and they will be black and white. Other than that, we got announcements of the Dirty Dancing Funkos and Nacho Libre Funkos. That's really all the news I have. I did pick up 13 Funkos this week. First off, let me get to my... I picked up George R. Martin from Barnes & Noble.
rawr, rawr.
I picked up Elrond from Lord of the Rings.
L. Ron Hubbard?
Topic exclusive. Yes, L. Ron Hubbard.
Hey, you never know.
Gimli.
They're making them for everything now.
Gimli from Lord of the Rings. Legolas from Lord of the Rings. Galadriel. The Witch King from Lord of the Rings. See where I'm going with this?
To Mordor.
And the Dun... Yeah. But how do you say this? Dunharrow King. And he's kind of got a translucent look to him. Also picked up Kelly Bundy from Married with Children.
Always trying to pick myself up like Kelly Bundy.
Keep getting blocked by Joe.
From Stranger Things, Dust there. Another pick, exclusive Chucky on the cart from Child's Play 2. Sora from Kingdom Hearts, the Christmas Town version. Goblin from the Spider-Verse. And last but not, shout out to Pokemon Joe's wife. This is the Go Calendar Store exclusive glow in the dark Beetlejuice. He found this one for me, so shout out to her. And that's all the. There's a guy on 960 something. So send me your Funkos. Get me to that 1,000 mark before the end of the year.
I don't have any plastic this week. I did. This is going back on comics. I did post a picture up earlier on the Blaster Stash page. Got a good run on my X-Men books today, so we can fill that in. Drew, plastic.
No plastic, man. No plastic at all. No, hopefully I've got a couple people said they'd send me a few packages of plastic, so hopefully those arrive shortly. But no plastic in house at the moment. No.
They're called Vibrating Rabbit.
Hey, you take your proclivities seriously, but that's not my bag, baby.
Joe, I think you said you had some plastic this week.
Yes, I actually have some plastics this week. I went out shopping for my wife because she wanted me to pick up some pops for her, the whole Star Wars Christmas series thing. So I got her all those, and her and Mike were digging through Barnes & Noble and FYE and everything else, but I found one pop that when I saw it goes perfectly with the second pop, and that's Spider-Man Noir wearing the little hat.
Fedora.
Looking all Depression era gangster. So yeah, I went ahead and picked that up because I thought it was as cool with the trench coat and the hat and everything. So yeah, I went ahead and picked that up.
I'm trying to pick up those Spider-Man Noir books right now. They're pretty.
They're shooting up in price. It's getting crazy out there on them.
Yeah. I think that's it. No more plastic.
No more pops. But I was shopping with Joey the other day, and his LCS. They have these super emo. They're done by artist Jay Salvador, and they look like. Hold on, they kind of look like that.
They're sad.
Yeah, they all have a sad theme to them.
They're not sad. They're just emotional.
Oh, is that what it is?
Wait till he flips it around.
Sorry, I'm not a millennial. I don't deal with that shit.
So like the Captain America one right there says, "I thought this was America," and he's all sad.
That's hilarious.
Man. It says, "My parents are dead." Well, I found a verse one, so I picked that one up. So
I had the power.
So go check out superemofriends.com.
Then he turned 40 and a little blue pill comes in.
So shut your Funko mouth.
What else was I going to say? Oh, I was going to talk about our Patreon. So I know Funkoff said that he is going to be joining our Patreon. I don't know if he's going to be doing the $15 one or if he's going to be just doing a general entry. We'll find that out later. But I did talk to the LCS Rogue City Comics, who is sponsoring this week or this month. I have a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 10. So I'm going to have two winners coming out. So the 1 in 25 will, have that 125. 1 in 10 will have a couple extra books going out with it. I did get a couple other books signed from a local artist and writer. That'll be included in a pack, as well as a few other books. So, dude, for $3, you take a chance at getting, 5-6 books. 1 in 25 or a 1 in 10 variant with those things. So we're looking to try to increase more and more going in. That $15 pack. 10 random comics, Bronze Age, maybe a Silver Age, depending on what I got able to pick up. But definitely, I'm not going to give you all a bunch of crap. It's going to be some it's going to be some of the big two, maybe Image, stuff in there. So definitely check that out too. Maybe if somebody wants to jump in and do that, see the first pack, maybe somebody like, oh wow, they're actually giving us some decent stuff. So definitely go check that out on the Patreon. The link should be below. If not, I will put it below. If not, you can find it on the Facebook page for sure. So if you're not a member of that group, go check it out on Facebook. Go follow us on Twitter. Where else can we follow anybody? Sub us up on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up here. Share us out. Maybe if we get enough Patreon, we can get Mike some decent internet. Or maybe his wife will give him the password to the Wi-Fi. Maybe that might work too, Mike.
No,
maybe get a little.
Joey's been to my house. He said my internet sucks, so. It's
maybe you need to, once you hit 1,000 Funkos, maybe upgrade your internet. Maybe that's your next step.
It's all that vinyl blocking the signal.
Is that what it is?
He's insulated.
So I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. We'll start with Drew and your shout outs for the week.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to somebody who I've been interacting with a lot in the community. Just subbed up my channel the other day, and that's my boy Pope Grimy. We all know that poping ain't easy. Thanks for finally giving me a sub there, buddy. A big shout out to everybody who's supporting that Patreon. Drop us a couple bucks. Get yourself some books. It's going to be a good time for you. It's going to be a good time for us. Also, shout out to JP at All About Comics. He was going up against us head to head in the ratings war in the YouTube comic community tonight. So if you watched our show, go ahead and catch his show on the Rewind, or hopefully you're catching this on the Rewind if you were watching JP's show tonight. So one way or the other, make sure you're supporting everybody in the community, and shout out to everybody. Have a great night.
Yep. Moving on to the one and only Poke and Joe.
Hey guys, I just want to say thank you to the chat room for everybody coming in. Love having you, love engaging you in conversation. Happy that you all are here. Hope you all are enjoying what you're getting. Also, Further news, me and Spectacular Spider Grandpa, we're going to be launching an auction site here. The money will go to our trip to C2E2, so we can do things like hospitality room and maybe do some things there. So by all means, stuff like that, we'll get that information out to you soon enough. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for coming by Blaster or Stash It. Please stop by our Patreon site. Give us $1. We'll make you holler. Always a good time up in Blaster or Stash It.
Thank you, Joe. Moving on to Robot Mike.
My turn.
Your turn.
Kevin Robbins for coming out in the rain the other day. If you're not familiar with Kevin Robbins, he is part of Robin's Nest. He actually lives right behind me here. Two of them Christmas about earlier we got from him, and he met us on a corner like a dirty little hooker. And
he really, what you talking about? His channel like that?
Sold us a couple of Funkos. Big shout out to him. Everyone in the chat who's still here because my shit sucks. That's it.
I did want to give another shout out to the Robbins Crew. I noticed that they had a post on there. They had a whole bunch of Funkos that were $3 a piece. So definitely go check them out. I mean, they're probably, you know, they're commons, or I think they even had a Hot Topic exclusive one, but they're $3 a piece. Dude. I mean, dude, just $3, dude. Throw $3, get a Funko, throw it on your shelf, unpack it in your package. I don't care, whatever.
What Joey paid for them, the two Christmas Funkos, was less than an actual Funko. So,
oh really? Wow, that's cool.
They got good. Of course, we don't pay shipping because we're special.
Maybe I need to get you guys some money. You can pick me up, and you can pay shipping to get some stuff to me. Maybe we can do that.
Bubba, you can give me all your money. I'll take care of you.
Oh yeah. I bet you will. So yeah, definitely go by, check out our Patreon, check out our Facebook page. Check out our Twitter. You know, follow us on all that cool stuff. We all have our own Facebook page. We all interact together. I try to post stuff on that Facebook page, whether it be polls or stuff like that, so you guys interact. We can get some information about you guys, and this is fun stuff to do that. As well, yeah. Make sure you come by every Sunday night here on Blast It or Stash It. Maybe you should get Rob and maybe. What's that?
I need mac and cheese.
Oh, Mike's headed out to go get mac and cheese. We're taking us on a journey. As long as he's not taking a piss, I think we'll be okay. Let's go check. Let's follow Mike before we head out of here. Give us a tour of your house, Mike.
I don't want to see that mess.
My kitchen.
Oh, wow. That's lovely cabinetry. I like it.
You look like you have all the amenities.
Where's the mac and cheese, Mike? Show us the mac and cheese.
All right, hold on.
Where that cheesy mac at, baby? Where that cheesy mac at? Yeah, get us that cheesy mac. Oh yeah, we can't wait for that cheesy mac.
It's like cheesy corn here.
Oh, cheesy mac.
Oh, there's the pantry.
Oh, pantry's open. Oh, box
this is
of
mac and cheese. I thought it was like
God.
cheese at least, dude. Like
oh my God, look at that mac and cheese. Oh my God.
A 50-cent box of mac and cheese. I thought it was good stuff. Man.
It is good. It is good stuff.
Shells and cheese is a little bit better. I think it's a step above.
Mike's got the blue box blues.
I guess so. So we're out of here. Whether you blast it, whether you stash it,
whether you eat mac and cheese,
whether you eat mac and cheese, whether it be shells and cheese or Kraft, whatever. Take you later, guys. Later.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.